Good evening, everybody. It is almost the end of the day of the Wednesday the 14th for us. I have been so busy lately, or have been combination of a lot of busyness, a lot of appointments, a lot of feeling down and out and whatnot, and most of that down and out is mostly because of the weather around here has been wonky. I mean, we'll have a couple good days and it's just like it gets dreary and feels like it should rain, but the radar doesn't look like it is going to rain. And just a lot of stuff that's got me pulled down, got me a little under the weather, which is kind of funny because I don't know if it's the weather, I don't know if it's me because things aren't happening fast enough around here, which is my fault, nobody else's. So I'm not playing a blame game or anything like that. Where is my weather app? Well, no, it's not down there anymore. I'm sorry, I thought I had everything ready, but unfortunately my brains have not been braining properly. It's been everywhere but here, it seems like. It seems like I'm just like, here we go. Finally, local weather. Mostly cloudy. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, the weather looks like it's up near Omaha, Nebraska, and in the Nebraska area, or over near lower Pennsylvania, DC region, but no showers or anything like that. In fact, the next group of showers we're supposed to have is Saturday, yet it's overcast and looks like it could rain at any moment, which is kind of weird in my brain. Of course, my brain's already weirder than anything else like that. But I'm getting more and more upset at myself because I have been just feeling so exhausted and just down. I guess the only words I could use is downtrodden, because that's the way I've been feeling lately, and it's causing me to be sleepy or drowsy or just want to just be in bed all day. Now that could be anything from the weather, my disposition or mood changes, swings, whatever you want to call it. And I'm hoping that will change soon. Now I'm not gonna blame medication. I'm not gonna blame anybody but myself, because this struggle I'm having lately has been more of an internal struggle than a external struggle. Ow. I don't know if that was just dry skin or hopefully not a scab, because Oreo this morning, trying to be the loving puppy she is, or teenager, she put her paw over my eye and not dug in, but like pulled it across. So I felt like she scratched me, but there's no like evidence, there's no sign of being scratched. I can just feel this one spot, which seems to be the most sensitive because it's like right under my eye. And I'm getting dry skin again, which, two reasons why I get dry skin. One is mostly dehydration, and two, I just have not cleansed my face properly. So, it's one of the many things I have to deal with that, unfortunately, doctors can't really help me out with it because it's a form of psoriasis, which I knew I had it because my scalp was always itchy and dry and whatnot. That's why I love, a good shower and standing out in the rain, letting my head get soaked. But good news is, I'm waiting for two things. I'm waiting for my insurance to give the okay to the dental surgeon to remove all my teeth since they're so bad, and get permanent dentures after my jaw, whatever, heals up. And I'm also waiting for a call back from a local psychiatrist so I can start that journey of getting things dealt with on the psychological scale. The other thing that I want to start doing, and I love this lady I've been watching Monday through Thursday. She wasn't on today, and I don't know if she's going to be on tomorrow because of her personal life, things that she has to do. But she's been a very blessing on the spiritual sense of my life. I just need to find a actual church that I feel comfortable with to go to. And it's kind of hard to, there's a variety of churches in my area. It's just finding the one I'll be comfortable with. So it's one of those things where it's like, I like churches that don't deal with politics. They're all about Jesus. They're all about his message and his works, not about, dealing with the political aspects of life. Personally, I think that the church should be the only aspect of life. And, I do understand the separation of state and church, but, and at the same time, we are losing, our contact with the true message of Jesus and the true message of God. And I worry for this nation. Now, I usually don't talk about religion, but, on an interesting note, finding out that the new Pope is American from Chicago, which is kind of like, oh, this guy's going to be a no-nonsense person. And he's already put out his view and dislike for Trump and his administration, which is like, oh, wow. I've never heard a pope mention anything about politics. So this is going to be an interesting time frame through the new pope. And like I said before, I'm not Catholic, but that's because I was raised mostly non-denominational, or my mom was Pentecostal or Presbyterian. I can't remember which one. I think it's Presbyterian. And my father was raised Catholic. So, my upbringing, when it came to spirituality and my belief in Christ, was pretty, up until we moved back here from Germany, we went to church on a regular basis. And in fact, Dad, a lot of times, wherever he was stationed, became like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a family get together at this park, and we're gonna do, you know, barbecues. And it fell upon my father to do the work when it comes to the barbecue, because everybody loved the way he made, you know, he did his barbecue. But I'm interested in a lot of different things. There's a program, I forgot what channel it's on, but because I got Prime TV, it could be anything, any kind of, it could be a channel that you guys don't have, but there was a program out. It came out years ago, but this is the first time I heard about it. It was called The End Times, Are We Prepared? And I thoroughly believe that no, we're not really prepared, because of the times that we live in now is so wrought with negative TV or negative news or a lot of negativity, and not a lot of true believers. I mean, I can sit here and point out defects in my lifetime when I was not following the Word of God, of how things, I mean, there's a number of things that I pray for forgiveness for, because of the way I was when I was not following not only God's word, but just back when I was in college, you know, the WWJD, what would Jesus do? So you know, it was it was a rubber wristband that I used to wear all the time, just to, you know, remind me, ask this question before you make a decision. So it's one of those, like, I wish I had something like that again. Even if somebody was good at leather working and made me a wristband that basically said, you know, the same thing, you know, WWJD, what would you do? You know, and we were talking about, not too long ago, we were doing a really good live, me and Jerry, and somebody was talking about getting one of those cards that Jerry had from her father's funeral, that was footprints. And I was going through a bunch of my stuff, and I happened to find one of my bookmarkers, which is exactly, you know, what I was looking for, footprints. I'm not going to read it, because most people who know who know the meaning behind footprints and whatnot don't need it read to them. But at the same time, I have been coming across on my Facebook feed that was a lot of Christian quotes and comments and uplifting type, you know, posts, and I try to share them on my Facebook page. But my problem with it and whatnot right now is I don't like people, like, if I make a comment on one of the various quotes, that I start getting bombarded by, you know, different Christian groups or people. They just start bombarding me with, you know, messages on Messenger or whatnot, and I'm like, whoa, no, you know, first of all, I mean, I don't need being over. I guess the word I'll use is overfed or force-fed somebody else's beliefs, whether they are true Christians or they're just, you know, groups of people who are trying to get more people to listen to their messages or read their messages or whatever. I'm the type of guy that likes to be like, let's not bombard each other with direct messaging of positive quotes or invitations to Christian pages and blah, all that stuff. Hey, that if they got a group of people that follow them and listen to them and whatnot, that's fine and dandy. The problem is, as Revelation warns us, is to watch for the false prophet or false prophets. And I'm like, this is one of the biggest reasons why I prefer to stick to my regular methods. Because I get a great number of people who are on this channel who do send me Bible verses to look at, or quotes with the Bible verse to look at, or stuff like that. They don't bombard me. They just say, hey, take a look at this, or you might be interested in that. I'm happy with that. But when people ask you a million questions about what you believe in, or how do you feel towards Jesus or the end times or any of that stuff, and I'm just like, that's between me and the big guy upstairs. Because I feel, and this is my personal feeling, is we are literally in the beginning stages, if not almost near the middle of the biblical version of the apocalypse, end of days. We've got wars popping out. We've got crooked government people. We've got big pharma who could easily find cures for various things. It's just they want extra money. And then there are just people who are trying, like me, trying to live my life. And yeah, I need a little bit of help every so often. And yes, some people might say it's begging, but no, I'm asking for assistance. I'm not begging. Those people who decided to help us out through the charity that we had or have, that's out of the kindness of their heart, either because they understand the struggles and the situations people get into. It's nice to have people who are willing to help out, knowing our conditions and don't have issues with giving. And we never said, how much. And there are people that we know that have given more than enough, or more than we could have hoped for. Yes, we are still on the struggle bus. There's a lot of stuff going on that we are trying to work out and, deal with as best as we can on our own. But, we still make the important payment, which is Jerry wants to call it rent. I'm just going to say it straight up. We're basically paying the mortgage. And because I know my mother well enough, I know that if something happens, we're late by, a couple days to a week, hopefully never ever. Or we might have to pay a portion here, then pay a portion there. But we give her the full amount, and I just, I know why Jerry wants to stay here. I know why I want to stay here, but we are, we're not really wanting to move because this is a good house. And no, Mom doesn't help us out with anything anymore because of her situation. And I know what her situation is. I know how much it costs for her to be where she is. Plus, you know, paying for her phone, paying for her groceries, and other things like that. But the amount of money that she pays, which I'm not going to disclose, is outrageous to me. So, you know, it is what it is. So I'm just like, excuse me. I'm just doing what I can to survive right now. And I'm hoping once this gets fixed, my teeth, and I get my dentures, and I start seeing a psychiatrist or a counselor, I'm kind of picky. So, you know, I'm looking for in-house counseling, which means I go to their office, I sit down in a chair and discuss my problems or my issues. And they either give me some relaxing methods, or what's the word I'm thinking about? Prescriptions. Hopefully they'll understand I prefer natural elements instead of chemicals concocted in a laboratory. So it's one of those, like, I guess Jerry's getting ready to go to bed or go lay down. But other than a lot of my personal issues causing me some other issues, which are causing more issues, which it's one of those, like, I guess the only way I can describe it is a merry-go-round. And my head is spinning because of this merry-go-round. And, I mean, bless her heart, you know, Jerry does the best she can to help me out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's like TMI, too much information, or just my mind is totally shut off and can't even get my own thoughts, you know, to work for me, let alone understand my own thoughts. So it's been one of those like, who's doing what to who in my head. And maybe that's one of the things I need to tell the therapist / psychiatrist, the professional mental health person. And no, I wasn't pointing at Jerry. She does what she can with what she knows, which does not always work for me. But maybe I'm on a spectrum, or I'm becoming, I wouldn't say schizophrenic, because I don't think I've ever been schizophrenic, but maybe I have too many voices in my head. You know, I hear my father's voice. I hear what I think is Jesus, or a voice that I don't know or recognize from my life. But I'm hearing voices of people who are no longer part of my life. And I don't mean deceased. I mean just no longer part of my life. I don't have contact with them. I don't deal with them. Things like that. But it's like I guess the only way I can say it, because I've never really tried to consolidate, but it's almost sometimes feel like a council of 12, and not everybody agrees with everybody, and maybe that's what's causing me problems. I don't know. It's just nothing that really is so disturbing that it's causing me issues of any kind. It's just like, the voice of reason is sometimes my dad, sometimes the unknown person in my head. You know, so it's like, who's who and what are they doing type situation. So it's, yeah. But anyhow, I mean, I know some of you guys are going to say, well, if you're hearing voices in your head, that, you know, you might have some severe problems. But sometimes it's, I don't even know how to describe it. Sometimes it's a helpful situation. Sometimes it's not. You know, it's like the old cartoon when, you know, you got the devil on one shoulder and you got an angel on the other shoulder, and they're both trying to fight for your attention and how to direct you. It's not really like that, because I've never had any like truly negative thoughts. Yeah, sorry, I keep on playing with my tripod. So my thoughts can get erratic, and today was one of the first days in a long time due to the gloomy, gusty, windy, could storm at any time, barometric pressure on the fritz or whatever, that I felt like really not only out of it, but just like I wanted to sleep all day. I wanted to, you know, not do anything. And of course now it's night, it's like almost 9 o'clock, and I'm like feeling somewhat energetic, but I don't know what to do. I mean, dog's gone to sleep, you know, lay down. Jerry's gone to lay down. I need to get back on my schedule of getting up at 9 o'clock in the morning and starting my day and planning out the day of projects, and, you know, when can I do this, when can I do that? Is it going to be rainy? Is it going to be overcast and gloomy? Or is it just going to be like, whatever, you know? I don't know, because it's just becoming one of those situations where I need to get an appointment for my back, because I haven't had one for a while, and my back is starting to get, my back and my neck are actually starting to get painful again. My back especially, because what happened is, I don't know exactly what I did or how I did it, but not too long ago, between the seasonal switchover of clothing, I think I need to get that, my eyeglass cleaner, they're all fuzzy. Between when we were switching out seasonal clothing, I had a heavy bag of winter clothes I had a heavy bag of winter clothes that needed to go from my bedroom to the front closet, which we don't use as a coat closet because we got what they call a coat tray. And I think I pulled something out of whack that just hasn't gone back to its normal status, because like my upper bicep and my arm has been hurting me, and it hurts more when I wake up in the morning, because for some reason I sleep on my left side. Can't even really explain that, but that's what's happening. And I'm just like, this is crazy. And then my upper neck shoulder blade region started hurting, and then my back has been just constant. You know, I'll wake up, it hurts like crazy, can't bend, can't do anything for a while. I do my morning routine of making coffee and breakfast, and you know, relaxing for a little bit after breakfast, and then trying to do some light to medium housework, and the pain will go away unless I bend the wrong way or lift too much or don't lift with my knees, things like that. And it's all kind of like starting to go to the point where it's like, I have no idea what I'm doing anymore with my health. I'm doing good enough to have low sugar in the morning, and every so often I feel dizzy or something's off. So I need to get like a full checkup. I mean, my blood work done, physical checkup on I don't care if it's x-rays or whatever scans they need to check my spine. This whole waiting for insurance for dental work is I know it's only been a couple days to a week, but still it's like, how long does it take to get confirmation and then letting me know? I'm constantly checking my my portfolios or my apps to see what's going on with appointments and whatnot. And I have a okay, that's not going to work the way I want. So I just gotta work with what I got and try to do my best. Sometimes it's not the greatest, but it is what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to clean these glasses before I do anything else because they're really bad. But that's what's been going on in the last week or so. I know I keep on saying I'll try to do a live soon. I'll try, right now lately it's been how do I feel? Do I want to do a live and have issues with keeping up with comments or issues with people? Well, I know I got a good crew of people who take care of the negative nillies and whatnot. The way things are going, it feels like most of the people I've given the wrench to are either not able to get online when I'm online, or I don't know exactly what's going on with everybody's health and whatnot. So it's been hard for me to do. But I think my next moderator is going to be Bluegrass, because Bluegrass is always online when I go online live, and I can try to remember to shoot people notes to say, hey, I'm going online. So it's just things are going to change. I mean, I'm hoping things will start changing for the better because of all the things that I've got lined up to do or needs to be done, and I'm still working on it. But I hope to see you guys soon. And those of you, I mean, I usually don't do this on my channel, but I think I'm going to start doing this. I love Voodoo Chick. I cannot be as good as she is when it comes to what she does. But I'm going to try to start trying to incorporate some of the things I've learned. Sorry, my alarm went off. As I was saying, I'm going to try to incorporate some of the things that she does, or the way she does things, which means I'm going to have to get some people who are not only going to be really good to help me out with reminders or something while I'm doing a live, or just be there to help not only support me, but keep people who are going to be argumentative or whatnot to try to keep them at a low standard, because I don't want people on my chats who are going to cause problems or basically be bullies. I hate bullies. I've been bullied all my life because of one thing or another. Oh, you just came back from Germany, so your family are a bunch of Nazis? No, get your facts straight. Oh, you're really thin. You need to eat something. No, I had a high metabolism as a kid. You know. Oh, you can't read that right? You're stupid. No, I have dyslexia. It doesn't mean I'm stupid. It just means I either drop words or drop letters or turn letters around or flip-flop them, turn them upside down. I used to be good at reading things upside down. I never really cultivated that. I don't know why. But I've heard it all, you know, and I don't want people to be affected in a negative way, or especially for me, bring back bad memories that's going to trigger me. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't been doing lives. Is not just lives, but you know, just people who do not know me or do not understand me or don't even want to understand my story and my background and all the things that I had to go through as a kid. That's fine and dandy. Just don't be a bully about it. Don't be a bully about it. That's why I don't say anything nasty about anybody's personal life or their upbringing or their kids, you know, because I don't know them from a stick in the ground, you know, because I don't know their backstory, I don't know their past, I don't know their lives. You know, right now my life is kind of like on a seesaw. One day I'm up, one day I'm down, back and forth, back and forth. Sometimes I'm stalemated and I'm just sitting here like this, like, okay, are we going to be, is it going to be a good day or a bad day? I don't know. You know, but I know there's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to start posting. I might start my own channel because there's so many things I've been seeing on news and you know, certain talk shows like John Oliver, and I forgot the other guy's name. O'Brien? No, not O'Brien. I forgot his name, but some of the things they've been talking about, some of the things that I've been seeing put out there by various groups of people, I can't hold it back anymore. I mean, there's way too much stuff that I've been seeing and hearing, and it's all over the web. It's all over media, you know, different media platforms. And I'm sorry for those of you who support Trump, but Trump is killing this planet, killing this country. He's basically robbing from the poor to give to the rich. I mean, all his tariffs, that's not going to affect the 1%ers because they got money up their butts. They're born with platinum spoons hanging out of their tail end. But for people like me and Jerry and low-income families and hardworking Americans that don't get enough for their living expense, their lives, I hate that. That's a bunch of crap. And people don't see it. And then people go complaining, there's not enough food on the shelves, there's not enough this on the shelves, there's not enough. It's because the factory company, you know, small companies can't afford the tariffs to pay the extra money just to get produce or toilet paper or cars, price of gas. I mean, price of eggs 10 years ago, eggs were like $1 something, you know, like not even $2 or just barely over $2. Now you're paying nearly $5+ for a dozen of eggs at even Aldi's, which is like the cheapest grocery store or company that I know about. You know, they're cheaper than the mom and pop store. You know, Kroger's, if you're familiar with that name. You know, it's just ridiculous. I mean, the amount of money that Walmart is charging for certain products that we need on a regular basis, it's crazy. It was cheaper for me to order peanut butter and cereal from Target to be delivered to my house. And the nearest Target to me is like 2 hours away from where I live, or an hour and a half. An hour and a half to 2 hours to get to a Target in Washington, Missouri, just outside of St. Louis. It's ridiculous. You know, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Nobody is seeing the damage Trump is doing because of these tariffs. Then the whole idea of trying to make Canada or Greenland the 52nd state. Obviously, Trump doesn't understand that this is no longer 1940s, and most Americans will not go to bat, let alone into combat, to make either Canada, who's got a large enough military of their own, let alone Greenland, which, why does he want Greenland as the 54th state, or 52nd state, or whatever it is? What is Greenland known for? Icebergs and volcanoes. That's why the old-time explorers, the Nordic explorers, labeled Greenland as the land of fire and ice. You'd think that would be Iceland, but no, Iceland has better climate and better greenery. You know, it has more of it. It's more stable. Yes, it does have its volcano or two, but Greenland, according to the old explorers and whatnot, was not worth, you know, trying to live there because it's too harsh. It's literally what is it? 75% or more of Greenland is actually within the Arctic Circle. I mean, some people say it's a good place to visit. Others say save your money and go someplace or stay home. You know. And I don't know why Trump needs another state. I mean, most countries are pretty well established. They don't need anything else. They don't need us. And honestly, I would be afraid with the Trump administration taking over another country to do what? Break it over the coals? Screw it up even more? I don't know. But that's just my point of view with what I've heard. You know, now if it's all been like some sort of giant gimmick that everybody's jumping on top of, hey, I don't know. You know, everything I've read and listened to and whatnot says that's what Trump is trying to do. And if you've ever watched some of the interviews with Donald Trump, he doesn't even answer the questions he's asked. He wants to make up his own narrative or his own, this is what it's all about. Doesn't answer questions. And I think the reason why he doesn't answer questions is either one, he doesn't know, or two, he has no answers. You know, that's why he focuses on what he wants to focus on. You know, but it is what it is. There's not much we can do about it except for pray for the best. And yeah, besides that, I'm not going to go on because I could go on forever. But anyhow, I hope to see you in the near future. You guys have a good night. Enjoy. Bye.